How about now?
We'll see in 10 seconds or so.
How about now? Yay!
There you go.
All right, so I've got an eye on the chat. If anybody has any questions, feel free to stick something in there. I'll do my best to get to everybody, but we're just gonna start off getting them stimulated, which is one of the joys of fostering teeny tiny babies like this, is that you kind of have to take the place of their mom and help them pee and poop. They're not always thrilled about it. So this involves wrangling the other kitten at the same time. No. Basically just gently rubbing the perineum area and helping them eliminate. You have to do this before you can feed them because you kind of have to make room.
I wanted to see the chat.
I'm Rachel, by the way, a staff member and foster parent at the Leon County Humane Society. Don't be shy if you've got questions, but I know you're probably all here just to see the cuteness. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna give it one more round. Make sure we got out as much as we can. Yeah, 5 seconds. Okay, all right, they are hungry, yes. So I'm gonna do them one at a time. So we feed them something called kitten milk replacer formula that is pretty good replacement for mother's milk. Gives them a lot of the nutrients they need to grow, has some probiotics in there.
How old are these babies?
They are about 2.5 weeks old, haven't sprouted teeth yet. And she's latched nice and firm, which is great. Takes a little doing to get them to latch, kind of develop muscle memory. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but she's got a burp now. Yes. So we rub their tummies a little bit to help them work the gas out. Looks like these guys are Siamese mixes, maybe Himalayan, might be long hair. Definitely snowshoe, little white paws. The mom was, actually we're not sure. We got them from another shelter, kind of in a rural area that had a lot of kittens left on their doorstep, basically. It happens during this time of year. It's kitten season right now, so litter after litter shows up. They were dropped as the litter without the mom, so there's no way to tell where she went. Good question, Sue. See if we'll take a little more. Mostly just chewing on it. Yeah. They do that when they don't want to admit that they're full and just want to keep the bottle around. They do it to mom too. Yeah, let's try your sister.
When you feed the sister, try doing it sideways.
Are you guys getting sound? Are you hearing my responses to your questions? Somebody could type in chat.
Yes, there's some.
All right, so better view like this?
Yeah. It's harder for you to
Yeah. This one is definitely the little pig of the two. She knows what she wants. And it is food. Lots and lots of it.
Lots of them. Sue says that she can hear you.
Maybe I can feed with my left hand so you guys can see how their little ears wiggle when they get nice firm latch. Ah, yeah, there we go.
Her ears are wiggling.
All right.
Monica asks if you can already determine their genders.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you can pretty much tell that almost from the time they're born. You can see. They're not like chickens or anything. All right. Yeah? Yeah? For some reason, she always does this every time after I feed her. She rolls over and she wants me to mess with her. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, stroking their head is a good thing to do if they're maybe feeling insecure is the word. It helps to get them to drink too if they're not latching too well. It reminds them of their mom grooming them while they drink, because she'll lick their heads a lot and kind of clean them up that way. I know. Okay. All right. So they seem to have drunk about what they want right now, which isn't as much as I'd want them to eat, but they are kind of distracted. Yeah. So we're going to get them to try to poop and pee again, both before and after every feeding. And as a bottle baby parent, it is a triumph to have your bottle baby poop and pee normally on a good schedule. You come to value that greatly. Anything else you guys are curious about? Ah, good question. They are 2.5, and they are actually pretty good, strong kittens. So I aim for about every 3 to 4 hours. Littler ones that we get in, we'll get them in from a day old. They need at least every 2 hours, sometimes more, depending on, or more often, depending on how delicate they are. But at this age, about 3 to 4 hours. In another week or so, it'll be every 4 to 5, maybe 6. And a little after that, we'll start trying to get them to lap some of their milk and transition to drinking it out of a bowl, drinking it with a little canned food mixed in, and then a week or so after that, mixing in, trying to get them to start chewing a little bit on the baby cat dry food, because they'll have their teeth in at that point. All right, let's try your sister. Now, I have a feeling that she wants some more milk, so I'm gonna stimulate her and make a little room and give her another try. They don't have names yet. Currently, this is Bottle Baby 1, yes, and the other one's Bottle Baby 2. Actually, we are hoping to get some suggestions from our wonderful donors and supporters. If you go to, there's a link in the description, and I'll paste it in the chat in just a second. There's an information page about our Bottle Baby break and what it takes to raise these little guys and get them healthy. And there's actually a donate form on that page. Donate any amount, and you can suggest a name for them. And if you do that before Monday at noon, we'll draw from those and name them. So you guys can participate in giving them probably the most adorable names ever. All right, let's try a little more milk. Yeah, come here. So I like to get a little drop of milk at the end of the bottle. You guys can see that. And that kind of indicates to them that there's milk in there. It helps get them started. She may not want any more. No. They ate pretty well at their last feeding. I think they downed a whole bottle between the two of them. So they're doing pretty good.
Felix? Just the donation.
Just
Which one?
that one.
Second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so now that they
People are like themselves.
now that they are fed and watered and pooped and peed, I'm actually just going to put them in here together for a little bit, because one of their favorite things to do is wrestle with each other when they are finished eating. So that's pretty adorable. Yes, it is. Yes.
Questions are coming.
Sarah, yeah. So the rule of thumb that I've been taught is that they should be pooping at least once a day. And a decent amount. It depends on their size. If they are not doing that for, I mean, I get nervous, so at least probably 2 consecutive days at the most. You know, you want to check with your foster coordinator if you're a foster parent with us, and kind of go from there, because we'll have different methods of tackling that problem, because it can come from a few different sources. Or, you know, if you're doing them on your own, that's probably a good time to see a vet, because they are very tiny. There's not a lot of space in there, and they're very delicate. And getting stopped up is one of those things that, you know, can sort of have a domino effect pretty quickly. So actually, most things with kittens this size has a very quick domino effect.
Monica had a good question right before.
Oh, no, we don't have to teach them anything, Monica. It's encoded in their DNA. Well, I should say, the reason that we do bottle babies at least 2 or more is because they help sort of teach each other those behaviors. So when they're together, as you can see, she's starting to groom. That's pretty fast in their development. You know, they're starting to wrestle and play, which is a huge part of the socialization process. It's really important. So they kind of feed off of each other and learn from each other. And using the litter box comes later. Once they're able to sort of start pushing stuff out on their own, they will naturally take up in the litter box. You can encourage them in a few different ways, like putting some of their poop in there so they smell it in there and they know that that's their area. But they'll get it themselves pretty quickly. Something, it's important to keep them warm. I actually have a heating pad underneath this pad here so that there's some good radiant warmth going on. It's very, very important that their body temperature is correct so that their GI tract is working when you feed them. If it's not working and you feed them, it's really, really bad. So when we get new bottle babies in, that's one of the first things we do is check their temperature to make sure that they don't need to be warmed up before they can be fed. Feeding is second. Getting food down them is always important. And by the way, Sarah, thank you so much for being a foster parent. We need every single one we can get because, as you can imagine, doing this 6 or 8 times a day is pretty time consuming, and I only have 2 of them. We've got foster parents who do whole batches of them, and I am in complete awe of those people. It's very, it's adorable, but time consuming. Yes, they do sleep like human babies, actually. They kind of conk out as soon as they're done feeding. They sleep for hours, and you either wake them up to feed them or they wake you up to feed them. And they're like that for the first 3-4 weeks. Once they're weaned, they get more active and start to act a little bit more like a cat, but you know, cats sleep a ton anyway, and that's what they do. They sleep. At this stage, they eat, they sleep, they poop a lot. Oh, Sarah, good. I'm glad to hear that. And you know, you always just talk to Deidre or Barb if you have any concern at all. We're always here for you guys. By the way, the donation link, if you want to suggest a name, it's like any donation amount and you're good. And it's in the chat. I'm expecting extremely cute names. I do have other cats in my home. These guys live, for the most part, in a sort of medium-sized carrier with their heating pad and soft things. And it's kept in a separate area from the other cats. Mostly my cats, once they adjust to bottle babies, ignore them. It's not a big deal with them. it's definitely important to keep them separated because I have shelter cats or rescue cats, so I never know exactly what they might be shedding and have been exposed to over their lives. So it's a good idea to just sort of keep everybody separate. But because they have their own sort of container, it's not that difficult. As they get older, though, it gets a little trickier, and then I sort of dedicate a room to them and kind of establish an airlock system. And when they get older than that, they generally go in to our office and try to get adopted. So it's a pretty smooth process. So fluffy. So fluffy.
Can I just take your spot real quick? Oh.
She's dreaming. Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys know this, but they are big purr machines. They purr from a pretty young age. And they've got quite the powerful motors. These two, anyway, are very loud purrs. And yeah, this is pretty much what they do. Wrestle for a few minutes and then curl up next to each other and sleep, and then wake me up again a little bit later.
Maybe for next stream we can do the feeding more towards the middle. Because they
conk out.
They conk out.
There you go.
Maybe play some music in the background next to it, and then it'll make it more like watchable with consistency.
Yeah.
Because then you can kind of put it on your second while you're basically imagine something. And if they're not actively doing something, you have the music in your
They're about 2.5 weeks, Whitey. And probably going to sprout teeth pretty soon. They get teeth at about 3 weeks. For scale, my hand. They just about fit in it. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to know? I'm pretty open now that they're sleeping to be detailed. The LCHS foster program is pretty awesome. We pay for pretty much everything you might need to take care of them. We handle all the medical costs for them. So foster parents, all you have to focus on is taking care of them and letting us know if there's anything that we can do to help you take care of them and saving their lives, because we currently have about 13 neonatal kittens in the program. We've had more than that recently, but they've kind of transitioned into the next phase. And we generally do at least 50 over the course of the year, 50 bottle baby kittens. We also do bottle baby puppies. And generally we get to about 80 or 100 total bottle babies. But we can't do that without foster parents. And it is a time commitment. It is a commitment, but it also means that you're saving a life. You literally save a life. Without them, or without you, there's no saving them, because we can't put them anywhere else except another home. They get teeth. Whitey, they get teeth at about 3 weeks. They start being weaned at about 4 weeks. And at that point, we'll add in a little, we'll start trying to get them to lap first on their formula so that they transition that way. Start adding a little canned food to the formula in their bowl, and just gradually take them from the milk to the canned food to eating what's called baby cat. It's a dry food that's specifically formulated for little ones like this. It's like little tiny kernels, really attractive to them. And at that point, they have kind of all three for a while. They are regularly eating solid food at about 5 or 6 weeks. Maybe a little older. It depends on the kitten. And it's a very good day for a bottle baby foster parent when they transition to that wet food. Protein Ninja, you can probably get them to play with something even now, if only for a few seconds. Their attention span is pretty short right now. But you can already see them wrestling with each other. It's a really natural behavior for them. It's a huge part of how they socialize and how they have the skills later on to be adult cats. So probably 4 weeks reliably, you'll get them playing with toys. I'm sorry if the stream's a little static, but they need to sleep. That's a big part of this age. So I'm here for questions, but I'm not going to mess with them too much more, because sleeping is important for little ones this age.
long time. Right. That takes time. I suggest this. Do you have a large? Games.
Monica, you're very welcome. We'll be here at noon and 7 through the end of May. So feel free to tune in on your lunch break if you need a shot of relaxing cuteness. Just gives you guys a chance to be a part of their growth. Maybe see what it's like to be a foster parent. Maybe join our team. It's pretty awesome, to tell you guys the truth.
Did you bring the camera with you? You should take some pictures or something if you're trying.
Oh, Sarah, I'm glad to hear it. You're one of our big bottle baby parents too. You're awesome. You guys are very welcome. They are dreaming and twitching. We'll be here until 8. I'm going to leave the stream up, so feel free to hang out or keep them on another window if you just want some fluffy cuteness. I'm going to go ahead and turn the sound off for a little bit, but I'll be keeping an eye on the chat, so if anyone has any questions at all, just put them right in there.